presents Paris Ayad. Come hang out with HP as we chat about the Olympics track and field with athletes, fans, coaches, and friends of Jamaica track and field in independent style. The Pegasus Hotel in Jamaica is the place to be from August 2 to 11. Come chat with HP Chat Track as we go live with interviews and discussions.
Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. What if I said make we chat about it?
Let us cheer on Team Jamaica in Paris from Yad.
Check and feel out the topic.
Remember to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends, Yad and abroad.
We're running it all the way, we're in the lead. We're running it.
Hello, 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 people. Hello, hello. It is day 9. Paris is almost over, and man, all the drama, all the drama. Guys, we weren't here yesterday. We took a little break yesterday, but we are back today. We will be here today and tomorrow to wrap up Paris. So welcome each and everyone. Welcome from all 7 continents, because all continents are at the Olympic Games. It's your girl HP from HP Chat Track, and of course featuring Unseen Sports TV, and of course with me is my data bang, my doctor in the making, Akil Henry, and of course my wonderful staff behind the scene. And I also have to big up my sponsors, the Jamaica Pegasus. Thank you very much for making this possible. Singer Jamaica Limited, Wet Sundays Continue, HP Entertainment, and Micah Wear. We are going to do a quick recap of day 8, which was yesterday, and of course look at what is to come today. And of course I will have a guest in between, and this guest will be from the Bahamas. We'll be talking to someone from the Bahamas. So welcome, guys. I hope you're having a great day. And I know a lot of drama is going on at the Olympic Games in Paris, but nonetheless, we are here. Akil, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited. Yesterday, a lot of things happened yesterday. Some things disappointing. But we got a medal yesterday, Rashid Broadbell. Bronze medalist at the Olympic Games. I'm very happy for him. And I want to congratulate Anza Parchment and Orlando Bennett as well.
Indeed,
especially Orlando Bennett. Well, particularly Orlando Bennett for making it to his first, major global final, and Anza Parchment for just continuing to, carry the flag high in this event. And exciting things to come today. We're gonna see our own junior prodigy in, Jaydon Hibbert. He'll be in the triple jump final today, and a changing of the guard.
But before we get to today, let us just quickly look at some events for yesterday. The first thing we're going to look at, frustration for Daniel Thomas Dodd.
Indeed. And I actually share in her sentiment that it was a comfortable qualification standard for her, by her standards. The qualification standard, ladies and gentlemen, was 19.15 meters, or 19 meters, 15 centimeters. So, that is well within Daniel Thomas Dodd's reach. And what happened was that Daniel Thomas Dodd, she was in the 12th position, up until Raven Saunders of the United States of America through 18.6 meters, and that is how she was kicked out of the 12th position. So I understand her frustration, and look, nobody wants to go to Olympic Games, nobody wants to go to an Olympic Games and not have their coach with them. What we'll say is that we don't know the insides of the Jamaican camp, but what we can do as an audience is that we have to take the athlete's word for it. And if she never had her coach for 2 weeks, these are things that can affect an individual's preparation. 18 meters 12, her best attempt. It just shows you that she was really lacking in that department.
But something, and to add to that, Akil, both the J3A and the JOA is coming at Daniel about financial support, and at no time did she mention anything about money. She did not mention money. She talked about her coach not being there, and she talked about, as a country, we do not care about, we do not show enough attention to the field events. And she is not lying, people. She is not lying. As a country, we do not show any respect to the field events. If an athlete is not doing well in that event, we don't care. And she did not lie there. So when I saw where the JOA came out to say if she doesn't apologize, she will be banned, and I'm like, this is what we have these federations here for. Athletes are being bullied. They cannot speak their mind on a topic, and we have, a resolution to the problem. They're ready to ban her because she came out and speak her mind. And she did not tell any lie. I've been watching track and field long enough, and we do not pay the right attention to our field event athletes.
And she wasn't the only one who highlighted the fact that her coach wasn't there. Lamar Distance, she highlighted that her coach wasn't there, to help her, to give her the necessary instructions, to navigate, the competition that was taking place. Because if you look at Lamar Distance and if you look at Daniel Thomas Dodd, they performed way below what their standards. So it was really disappointing. I really was expecting her to expecting her to make it to the final, but another championship, another disappointment.
And it's just one of those things. And the thing that upset me about this is that they are ready to ban her without, they need to keep it in context. The J3A come out and they're talking about money. The JOA came out and they're talking about money, and at no time this young lady said anything about money. And that is why I am one of those people who lobby for the athletes and said the athletes need a federation, they need a union, they need something, they need a body of people to represent them, because too many times our federation is ready to throw them on the bus. But of course, at HP Chat Track, we are going to be looking, when we do our recap next week, we will be looking at Daniel Thomas Dodd concern, and of course the JOA wanting to ban her. Now let us quickly look at the women's 4x100 meter relay. Was that setup the best setup?
If it was the best setup, first of all, I will say that I am not a relay coach.
Okay.
So
Neither am I.
Neither am I. So as it relates to the technicalities of it, I am not sure. However, as a fan and as someone who has watched relays over the years, I'm not too sure of that setup, I'm not too sure of the setup in the sense that you had Kemba Nelson running on the second leg, bearing in mind that she would have just been in Paris. She wasn't there from the get-go.
She had to leave.
She had to go on a, whether it's a plane or a train drive. And she wasn't fully ready in comparison to other athletes. And to put her on the backstretch, I'm not too sure I'm in agreement with that. As it relates, and it showed. It showed in the result. It showed in the result.
And another thing too, I don't think that I still don't think the third leg is Sasha Lee's right fit. I've seen her. She was there last year. I saw her there in the rounds, and I'm not convinced that the third leg is Sasha Lee's best. If I was setting up this relay, I would go from Kemba to Tia to Alana to Sasha Lee to Anchor. That's how I would do it. Not saying it will be a gold medal winning team, because of course the Americans, they have the depth, but I think for us to get maximum performances out of these athletes, I think we should go from Kemba to Tia at the back. Tia can match TT Terry at the back. Of course, Alana, as a high school standout in a 4x1, I think she will be able to, even if she's not able to fully match Gabby Thomas, I think she will be able to give us a good run on that third leg, and then allow Sasha Lee to take it home. But I don't know about Sasha Lee on the third leg. I don't know.
So let me just give you context as relates to the time that was running the heat. So the time that was running the heat by this team, they ran 42.35 seconds, and that was the season's best. The World U20 record that was run in 2021, the World U20 record, or no, not 2021, 2022, the World U20 record is 42.59. So it just shows you that the quality or the quality of this team, you know, in terms of the composition of the team, it's not there. I'm not, and it's not to bash any of the athletes, because I do believe that the athletes give off their best. But when you look, if you really look at the legs, Alana Reid ran a really good first leg. Tia Clayton ran a very good ankle leg. The problem lies in the second leg and the third leg.
But I still think we can get more out of Tia. We can get leverage out of Tia on the back. I don't know why. I feel like putting Tia on the back, the form that she's in now, because you have to look at it. It's not about speed. Going to our men 4x1, China was in our heat and they won. No. The male China team, they're not running sub 10 like our athletes, but they were able to finish first in the heat that we were in, and we had the silver medalist from the 100 meters. So, and we've seen it how many times that it is not just about speed, but able to set up athletes where you can get maximum performance out of them. But the good thing I like about the female 4x1 final is that Jamaica will be inside of the United States, and I think that maybe can help us a little bit because we are on the inside. So let us see if that will work for us. Let us go to the men's 4x1. What happened there?
So the men's 4x1, I must admit, I was very disappointed in our performance. And I said before, it's not because of the athletes, but it's also because of the setup that we saw. So, you know, the setup was Akeem Blake to Jelani Walker to Jelani Gordon to Kishane Thompson. Now the problem that I have with this setup was the same issue with the women. You know, the legs 2 and 3. That was where Jamaica really, really dropped the ball. You know, and I'm thinking to myself that even though, you know, Andrew Hudson would have been there.
Brian Level was there. You know, Brian Level could have, to me, Brian Level, you could have put him on the third leg. I mean, he knows how to run, you know, really. So I think they were capable.
And the thing about it is that even if you don't want, even if you're not so sure about the strength on the backstretch, in my humble opinion, you know, what about putting Andrew Hudson on the first, put Akeem on the backstretch, because obviously Oblique is not there, we don't have that strength, or even put Kishane on the backstretch and make Akeem Blake anchor.
It is clear that we continue to look at top 4 or top 5 or top 6 from the championship. It is clear that we're still not out of that box as yet. We're still, because if I was setting up this team, I would go from Akeem initially before Oblique Civil got hurt. I was saying from Akeem Blake to Oblique Civil to Brian Level to Kishane Thompson. But when Oblique got hurt, I changed and I said, okay, from Akeem Blake to Kishane Thompson to Brian Level, and one of the Jelani could anchor, because you don't necessarily have to have your fastest person on anchor. But it's just how you set up that team and ensure that you get maximum performance from that person.
Indeed. And you know, when you look at the time, 38.45 was the time run by the Jamaican team. You know, 38.45. You know, we weren't even in the conversation as one of the fastest non-automatic qualifiers, because in the heat before, the fastest non-automatic qualifier would have been Japan with 38.06 and Italy with 38.07. That was, you know, In fact, let us really put context into it. If Jamaica was in the first heat, Jamaica would have finished 8th. That was how poorly Jamaica performed in that first season. I said before, it's not bashing the athletes, but it just speaks to the overall setup. You know, the fact that we had the second fastest individual at the Olympic Games in the 100 meters. You know, we had a semi-finalist in this race, and we still struggle to, you know.
It's all about the setup. We're not getting the setup right as yet, and we're not using people, we're not finding the right fit per leg. We're not finding the right fit per leg, and that is why we continue to have this problem with the relay. Let us just quickly, we're still on day 8, which was yesterday. Your thoughts on the women's 400-meter hurdles final?
So the women's 400-meter hurdles final. So what a cracking final it was, and you know, congratulations to Rochelle Clayton. She ran 52.6466. Let me just clarify that. But she ran near her personal best, and you have to respect an athlete who is able to still reproduce near their personal best. But I just want to highlight something, you know, that was said yesterday. You know, the importance of bravery and willing to you know run at levels that your body has never been before. I have to big up Anna Cockrell. Everybody was talking about the big two of Femke Ball and Sydney McLaughlin, and you know, Anna Cockrell ran a huge personal best, 51.87 seconds. She's now become the 4th athlete in history to run sub 52, and she's now the 3rd American to do so. So you know, it just speaks to, you know, being brave, being bold. You know, be bold in, you know, running the event. Jasmine Jones, 52.29, a huge personal best. This lady is in college, ladies and gentlemen. So it just shows you that the Americans know how to run this event and know how to run this event well. Rochelle Clayton, 52.68, commendable performance. She ran, as I said before, she ran near her personal best. You can't falter for that performance.
Indeed.
Cheyenne Solomon, 53.29, very good run as well. But it just shows you that United States of America are they're cracking the code, or they have cracked the code as to how it is that you should run the women's 400-meter hurdles.
It's amazing, because most of these events, I remember when we were doing the prediction show, and I was saying to people that all these events, and we're seeing it, that all the track, not just the track events, even the field events, they are all open, because I think one of the only event that we were saying is a runaway was this event. This event of all the events, in our mind, or we thought it lived up to our expectation, because it was a runaway for Sydney McLaughlin, Levroni. And
I just want to highlight as well that Rochelle Clayton, she's not only good at the 400-meter hurdles, she's also good at the 100-meter hurdles. In fact, when she was at the University of South Carolina, University of South Carolina, she completed the Queen's double. So she won the 100-meter hurdles as well as the 400-meter hurdles at the same championships at the same NCAA championship. So it shows that you can't, as a 400-meter hurdler, you have to have speed coupled with the strength to run sub 52. And I do believe, and I really hope that younger athletes coming up, they will look at this and they will understand that different countries are thinking outside of the box as relates to in the event, and we should too. Even if our coaches, may not agree or so forth, we should, as athletes, you should, try to update yourself in terms of where the event is going, how fast the event is going, and how can I play my part in ensuring that I am there and thereabouts in this event.
Do you think, I have a question, do you think this thing where we want to give everybody a run when they go to a championship, do you think that is one of the things that is kind of causing a problem for us?
Well, Well,
Instead of putting the best team out there, we try to run everybody. I don't know.
well, what I will say is that what I will say is that in any event, let's just keep it simple. Sports day, right? You want to ensure that, the best team is out there to ensure that we make it to the next level, or make it to the next step, or make it to the next round, right? But at the same time as well, as a people, you want to give athletes an opportunity to do what they have to do, because guess what? They may surprise you.
True.
They may end up even doing better than the top contenders. So you don't really want to, limit such competition on the basis of, okay, they're not the strongest and so forth. So you really don't want to limit their competition in that way. But what I will say is that at Jamaica, we have to grow in our awareness that our competitors, they are raising their levels.
The bar is
They're
big.
raising the bar. Mixed relay, we broke our national record in the mixed relay, and yet still we finished 7th.
Wow.
So it just shows you that the event is definitely
at
definitely
another
growing.
level,
It's
yeah.
at another level, and we have to give credence, and we have to give credit where credit's due to our competitors. Those our competitors in Europe, they understand that even when it comes down to the release, they understand the importance of teamwork. And they understand the importance of setting individuals in the right legs, at the right positions to ensure victory.
Yeah.
And I think we need to grow in our appreciation in that regard, especially at the senior level.
And just before we go any further, I have a guest who is going to stop in quickly. And yes, we have the Bahamas. The Bahamas is in the house. And of course, we are going to have a quick chat, just to get, a little feel of how the Bahamas is feeling today. So we will be right back. Just give us a few seconds, and we will be right back with this quick interview.
HP Chat Track, in association with the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel and sponsored by Singer Jamaica Limited, presents Paris Ayad. Come hang out with HP as we chat about the Olympics track and field with athletes, fans, coaches, and friends of Jamaica track and field and independent style. The Pegasus Hotel in Jamaica is the place to be from August 2 to 11. Come chat with HP Chat Track as we go live with interviews and discussions.
Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. Oh, what if I say, make we chat about
Let us cheer on Team Jamaica in Paris from Yad.
it. Check and feel at the topic.
Remember to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends, Yad and abroad.
We're running it all the way, we're in the lead. We're running it.
And we are back with this quick interview. I did tell you that the Bahamas is in the building. Yes, they are here with us at the Jamaica Pegasus. And with me is Mrs. Gina Gonzalez Roll. And we actually just pulled her over. I practically hijacked her because I wanted to get her feel on the Olympic Games and what's going on with the Bahamas. Mrs. Roll, welcome to Jamaica and welcome to HP Chat Track and Unseen Sports TV. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's a pleasure to be here in Jamaica. And it's been a pleasure this week to watch you guys over here just working so hard, pulling so hard for Jamaica, but yet still pulling for the Caribbean at large.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You're here. Can you tell us a little bit about your visit to Jamaica right now?
Sure. I am here with the Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championship, where we get together every year and the best of the best in golf and junior golf fights for the Hank James Trophy, which is given out top trophy. We have individual categories as well as country categories. The Bahamas now sits at number 3. Jamaica sits at number 4. We're going to try and change that today, though.
It is a
We're
battle,
going to try
right?
and make that change today.
Indeed. Okay.
But it's been a pleasure. The kids have been playing well. I can tell you it's a little different here for us. You know, we're not used to all of these hills.
Oh,
The
okay.
hills has been really. We tried to get our kids a little more active before they got here because most of our golf courses home are a little flatter. We have
Okay.
a little more water maybe.
Okay.
But it's been really good. I've been really pleased to see that that they have been able to go up the little hills and deal with them and not come back like totally out of breath. But at the end of the day, they are one. And you can see a difference in most of the kids.
Indeed, indeed. I know that you're not really here about the Olympic Games, but the Olympic Games is going on in Paris. Jamaica is there. Most of the Caribbean is there. You're from the Bahamas. Your thoughts on what is happening in Paris as it relates to the Olympic Games?
Well, I can't say we at home are just like y'all. Every TV that you pass, you see the games are on. Every room you pass, you see someone else trying to say something and say their country is best. We all know that the Caribbean at large is the best. If you put us together as a country, I think we can outdo any other country or as a region. Because when you look at the Bahamas having 750,000 people, and you see how many medals we would have won per capita, and then you look at Jamaica and how many, I mean, no matter where you go in the Bahamas, and you meet someone and you say, where you from? And they say, I say, I'm from the Bahamas. They say, isn't that where Usain Bolt is from? I'm like, no. But now, here lately, they have been saying, that's where Shanae Miller is from, right? You know, so now it started to change because, you know, previously it was like the Bahamas was Jamaica. But we are one, but we're still separated, you know.
Indeed.
Go ahead.
Indeed, indeed. The Bahamas have had some
Yes,
outstanding
standing.
success at the Olympic Games where we're talking about Pauline Davis, we're talking about Tanique Williams-Darling,
Darling.
we're talking about Shawnee Miller, we're talking about Steve Gardner. Your thoughts
Chandra
on
Syrup,
Sandra Stirrup, Debbie
Sid
Ferguson?
McKenzie.
If you're forgetting about our relay team, the one gold.
Yes,
Gold
in Sydney Olympic Games.
Your thoughts on the Bahamas' legacy at these games, especially in track and field?
Well, I definitely feel like we've put a hole in it, let's say that. So people now look at the Bahamas, as they do Jamaica, and expect someone fast to come. They expect a fast relay. They expect fast runners or better runners. I mean, let's not forget we have some of the top hurdlers at this point as well. And, you know, we are looking this year to at least take one gold. We're praying that we're going to take that gold home this year.
And the 100 hurdles.
Yes,
Nice.
You know, but I do feel that we have been definitely making a mark and been, what you say, getting our name out there when it comes to track and field.
That's true. You know, Bahamas continue to, produce some really good, athletes, and, I know that Bahamas would have been disappointed, by, Stephen Gardner, I should say, and Shawnee Miller, we were not being able to defend their titles. But, what about, Jones? In the 100 meters, he promised so much. Last year the NCAA level of the University of Texas and Texas Tech. I should say. Sorry about that. What about him? How do the Bahamians rate his chances or rate his development? In the 100.
Well, I can tell you, in the Bahamas, just about every sports person that has reached world status or the Olympics, they are like pushed on another level. We expect from them. We don't look to go in Olympics and not come back with gold. I think we're spoiled. When we get bronze, we're happy. We clap it on. But hey, we expect to get gold. Sometimes I feel like we put a lot of pressure on them.
Yes.
Sometimes I think we put too much pressure. But I mean, I think it's just that because we've done so well per capita, it kind of, our expectations are just really high. Almost like you have a smart child and you just expect A's. It's not like they have to work hard to get it. And these athletes all work so, so hard that if they're injured or something happens, we kind of still expect a gold from them.
I have a question for you. 2012. By 2012, the Americans had a stronghold on the 4x400 meters for men. And, the Bahamians finally broke that stronghold in 2012. What was it like being in Bahamas and seeing the Bahamian national team winning the 4x400 meters?
Well, I don't know if you guys know about Junkanoo.
Yeah, I've heard
Junkanoo
about
is
it.
like everyone comes out with cowbells and drums and everything. The music is amazing. The dancing is wild. Listen, if you would have passed any place in the region, I think Miami and all those closer countries, I'm sure they heard us all up. It was amazing. Whenever we get anything, again, like I said, we always go in expecting to win, but when we win, we're crazy about it. And of course, we always brag about it. Like I'm going to say, I mean, if we wasn't so far through Olympics right now, I was going to say to you, we're going to beat you guys. But I'm going to kind of be quiet as I say that this morning.
I have a question for you. Let us go back to the Sydney Olympic Games. The Sydney Olympic Games, it was a Caribbean affair in the women's 4x100 meter where it was the Bahamas. The Bahamas won the gold medal. Jamaica won the silver. What was the energy like in the Bahamas, knowing that the Bahamas was able to defeat Jamaica and the mighty United States?
Again, once you win the gold, because we have so many Jamaicans in the Bahamas as well as, once we win, it's over at that point. Like, you don't even want to walk on the side of me because I'm going to remind you to step aside because we just got the gold. And that's kind of what it was like. Everyone just took the streets. When they came home, we had a
parade.
The parade where the cars took them out, where Junkanoo was on, they were waving. They each went to their island that they were from. Again, they were recognizing their islands. It was absolutely amazing. We just like Jamaica, we are proud of our athletes, and we do a lot for them. We can always do more, but
Indeed.
we try to do a lot for them and make them understand that we need this gold. We won a silver, we won the bronze, but we need that gold.
Indeed,
I think we're spoiled. We're just used to too many golds.
Yes, we are. And I have another question. In the Caribbean, we're doing very well in track and field. Jamaica, the Bahamas, Trinidad, Barbados, and so forth, Grenada. But how can we as a region get involved in other sports at the Olympic Games consistently, talking about swimming, talking about golf, football, all the other sports? How can we come together and help each other to get involved in more disciplines?
Well, I think competitions like this that we're having here now, which is golf, where the Caribbean play against each other. We kind of push each other because I can tell you, the countries here have some amazing young people that play golf. I mean, golf is now on another level to what it used to be years ago. And I feel like if we continue to compete against each other and continue to go out there, but yet stick together as a Caribbean nation. Again, I wish more people would recognize us as the Caribbean instead of individually.
True.
Then, I mean, look how many more medals we could sit down and say that we had. If you put everything Jamaica has, everything Barbados has, St. Lucia,
Yeah, we're divided in a sense. We're not.
We're separated and still together, but yet still divided. So it would be great if you could see us all get together. Mind you, when it's socializing time or when you see the kids in college or when they're having stuff, Caribbean kids always stick together. But when they put their foot out there on the track or the field or to do whatever, it's another story. We all just fight for our own gold.
Indeed. My final question to you, because I know you have to run. Devon Charlton, she is the world record holder indoors and also the indoor champion. She will be in the final today. What are your expectations?
Gold.
Gold.
Indeed.
Gold, gold, gold.
Speak it into being.
Yes. And we believe that she will. I mean, she has worked really, really, really hard.
She has been
Just like-
knocking. She's been knocking.
Yes,
yeah.
and she has set her pace in wherever she's gone. My hope and prayer is that when she gets out there, it will be the first gold medal that the Bahamas takes this year, and we won't go home without at least one gold medal. But I know she's going to do well.
Yes, I think she will do well. She has matured. I watched her
man, she
live in
has.
Eugene and, last year at the World Championship. So she is steadily progressing. And
she has great support from her family, from her friends. I
Good.
mean, she has a great supporting body behind her.
Okay.
And
I
when
know
you see that gold, just remember.
yes, I
the
hope she,
Bahamas.
yes, I hope she can bring it. If the Jamaican cannot bring it home, I hope the Bahamas can.
Bring it
That was a
Yeah,
good
bring-
one. I like how you put that in.
I hope, because it is, as you said before, it's a Caribbean affair. It's one region.
Yes.
Even though we want to think that we can do by ourselves,
Yes.
but it is one region. But it was good having you, and thank you for taking
Thank you.
some time out of your busy schedule.
Well,
And
thank
all the best with your event. And please to come again to Jamaica.
I shall. And we look to be Jamaican this as well as we look to take that gold tonight as well, okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you guys. And
Thank
you guys
you.
have been doing a fabulous job.
Thank you.
And continue to keep it up.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
And there we have it, everyone. Mrs. Gonzalez Rose from the Bahamas. She stopped by to have a chat with us. And of course, one Caribbean, one Jamaica, one Bahamas.
Indeed.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
HP Chat Track in association with the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel and sponsored by Singer Jamaica Limited presents Paris Ayad. Come hang out with HP as we chat about the Olympics track and field with athletes, fans, coaches, and friends of Jamaica track and field and independent style. The Pegasus Hotel in Jamaica is the place to be from August 2 to 11. Come chat with HP Chat Track as we go live with interviews and discussions.
Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. What if I said make we chat about
Let us cheer on Team Jamaica in Paris from Yad.
it? Check and feel at the topic.
Remember to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends, Yad and abroad.
We're running it all the way, we're in the lead. We're running it, finish.
HP
Paris Ayad.
We're running it.
The world is watching, and so are we. Let's support Team Jamaica from Yad as their quest for gold at the Paris Olympics begins.
Get up on, no, don't stop.
Hi everyone, I'm your girl HP, the host at HP Chat Track. We're here to cheer on Team Jamaica, win, lose or draw.
So come through, let's talk about it. What you say?
From the track to the field, our athletes embody the spirit of resilience, determination and excellence. They are the pride of Jamaica, and now they're ready to conquer Paris. Join us on HP Chat Track as we bring you updates and in-depth analysis of our athletes' performances. This is more than just a competition. It's a celebration of our nation's talent and spirit. Remember to subscribe, like and share Yard and Abroad.
Intro, it's on. It's on.
Guys, we're back. Yes, we're back. We just had a nice little interview with, of course, another one of our Caribbean partners, Mrs. Gonzalez Rose from the Bahamas. And of course, we will be cheering on the Bahamas also. And we have a new analyst with us. Just join us, Mr. Bent or Mr. Bennett.
Bent.
Mr.
Bent.
Mr. Bent is here, and of course he will be going through some of the information with us, some of the events, looking at, and I think when we paused just now, we were looking at the the men's 110-meter hurdles.
Well, we were looking at the women's 400-meter hurdles.
We were looking at the women.
And then we were supposed to go into the men's
Yes,
110-meter
Mr.
hurdles.
Bent, your thoughts on the women's 400-meter hurdles that final ran yesterday, where Jamaica finished 5th and 6th with Rochelle Clayton and Cheyenne Salmon, respectively. And, of course, Sydney McLaughlin, Levroni ran away with that like a train. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Sure.
HP track.
Yes.
Track, everything track and field.
Yes, everything track and field. Everything
yes,
track
my
and
favorite
field.
sports. I mean, Rochelle Clayton had a really good season. And I think a lot of persons would have hoped that she would have medal. But
Yeah.
personally, she was a classmate of mine when she was attending Michael before she transitioned to UV.
Cool.
So I know her personally,
Okay.
and I know that she's gutted. But I think
yes.
it's a major improvement
It
for
is.
her. For Cheyenne Salmon, the former captain from Idle High School, she has had an average season. But nevertheless, I mean, the winner is the host of this world. It's host of this world. But
Yeah,
I think
Sydney's at a totally different level.
yeah, and I think if you look at the different times that Sydney would have run throughout the season, she has been so consistent with no injuries.
Yes.
This season, Rochelle Clayton would have been consistent as well. I'm very much disappointed.
Femke Ball also.
Yeah, I'm also disappointed, but I think I'm a little bit disappointed with Genevieve Russell because she has had an up and down season. A good friend of mine as well. But nevertheless, that is track and field for you.
Yes, yes.
But the question now is where does McLaughlin go from here? Because he basically has zero the game in track and field.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's something that we can look at going forward.
I'm wondering if she's going to take a shot at the 400 meters or even the 200 meters. I don't know which event that young lady cannot run.
Just a highlight, so she is the only woman in Olympic history to defend her 400-meter hurdles title.
Yeah.
Yes, so she, the closest was Susanna Hejnova of Czech Republic. So Susanna Hejnova, she would have, is Susanna Hejnova? Let me just be sure. But we're talking about someone who would have medaled in 2 Olympic Games. It would have been, the closest one would have been Lashinda Demos.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not an event that has had a defending champion, but no, Sydney McLaughlin has managed to defend her title.
And just to hold that thought, they're now having the medal ceremony for the men's 110-meter
Rashid
hurdles.
Broadbell.
And of course, Rashid Broadbell.
Well deserved.
Well-deserved bronze medal. Many would say silver medal. He is now on your screen. Outstanding. He has been knocking.
On the door for a while.
Yes,
I
he
remember when he was in his last year at Champs, and he came second. Guess who beat him?
Deja Russell.
The Pinnock.
Wayne Pinnock.
Yeah, in a
Yes,
time
Wayne
of
Pinnock, yes,
13.09,
Wayne Pinnock
which is
beat
still
him.
the class
He
on
was
record.
actually the second place in that race. Wow.
And
I remember that
and
race.
look out,
Everyone was expecting Dejan Russell to win that race.
Yes.
precisely, and look at if you were to look at the trajectory that Broadbell has taken. He came off the scene for a little while, and then over the years he has been consistent, growing in confidence, and the performances has proven himself. It's a pity that the Olympic champion from the last the world champion, the defending Olympic champion, Anse Parchment.
Yeah.
Not something that we are used to.
Yes, yes.
But that's the check and feel for you as well.
Yes.
And not having also Omar McLeod not being there, being a world champion, Olympic champion.
Yeah.
But that is just track and field overall. But a person that I'm very impressed with is Orlando Bennett.
Orlando Bennett, yes.
A very good friend of mine. Consistently, I've been making national teams. I've been making representing Jamaica on the circuit and in the major games as well.
He too is knocking, and I don't think he's far from that podium. Next year, World Championship in Japan, we should be seeing bigger and better things.
And then it leaves a question. Where does Grant Holloway go from here?
From here.
Do you think the world record set by Aries Merritt is in his grasp?
Well, what I will say about Grant Holloway is that Grant Holloway, he has, you know, I think he has not achieved everything in this event. This is, he is definitely he's definitely put himself as a legend in the 110-meter hurdles. I think, one thing probably left for him to do is to probably defend his Olympic title. But this is an event that he has rightfully, I think you can rightfully see that this is an event that he has dominated over the years. And, when you look at yesterday's performance, everybody would normally talk about, Grant Holloway always running for 100 meters and then the last 10 meters he normally falter.
Yes.
But it just showed, but yesterday's run showed you that those are things that he worked on. And, big ups to his coach. Big up to his coach, Mike Holloway, one of the best coaches in the game. And, for me, Grant Holloway, he's actually a very good 400-meter runner. So, maybe the 400-meter hurdles, but I don't think he's going to go 400-meter hurdles. But, I think it's an event for him to really dominate. As relates to the world record, when it comes on to the world record, he just needs a very strong season. If you look at Aries Merritt that season, Aries Merritt was just flying. Like, Aries Merritt was just killing the game, and I believe that he just needs a season where he's hurdling well, he's on top of his game, and the world record will come. But as relates to legends, as relates to top competitors in this event, I think the only thing remain for him is to defend his Olympic title.
I was about to say he should go after the world record in an off season, but I just remember that there's no longer an off season in track and field.
Yeah, because there's world championships.
World championships every year except during an Olympic year. So
well, they have an off season in 2026.
No, there's no off season. There will be world championship. The world championship is now being held every year, except during the Olympic year. So, to me, he should just find like an early season and just get the world record out of the way,
well,
leading into championship.
I put this question to you because you mentioned that Grant Holloway's next thing to zero the game in hurdling would be the world record. A fit Omar McLeod. A lot of persons would have touted him of breaking that world record. If you were to have a race, a one-off race, a fit Omar McLeod versus a Grant Holloway based on technique and speed,
that would be.
Who do you pick?
You still have to give Grant Holloway the edge because Grant Holloway is at 1281. 1281 at his best. He's also a 729 60-meter hurdler. These are heights that Omar McLeod has not achieved. As fast as he was, as swift as he was, he never achieved these feats. So you still have to give the credit to Grant Holloway. But what I will say is that there are hurdlers who are up and coming who definitely will be able to mount a serious response to Holloway. The thing about his body of work over the years that continues to be amazing is that he is the hunted. He has been the hunted from 2019, and he has managed to stay on top in spite of the fact that there are individuals who are definitely coming out, wanting his title and so forth, and he's managed to stay on top. So it just really shows you that the pedigree that he has as a champion. And it's unfortunate the era that he is in track and field because, if he was in any other era, he would probably be a strong contender for male athlete of the year. But when you're in the same, era as Ryan Krause and Duplantis and Karsten Warholm, it's going to be very difficult to win these things.
I think another thing that sets Grant Holloway apart is his technique, how clean he is, and 3 steps in between each hurdle. It is so consistent that it's almost like you're wondering if he even trained for this.
He's flawless.
His technique is one that, as a young hurdler, any young child who wants to take up hurdling, he would be the best example.
Admirable. I think, but I think when I think of great hurdlers or hurdlers, what they're called great technicians, you definitely think of Robles of Cuba.
Yes, Darren Robles.
Lu Zhang of China.
China, yeah.
And even And David Oliver,
David Oliver as well.
as well. So, when you think about, when you compare Grant Holloway to those individuals, I don't know. I still think that those individuals, definitely.
Human.
Yeah.
Humans
I
at
think it
all.
was really injuries that prevented those individuals from really carrying the game even further. And even Aries Merritt, when Aries Merritt was in his prime, Aries Merritt was hurdling as if it was as if he was running, as if he was sprinting the hurdles. The hurdles, he was just so flawless through the hurdles. So, he's definitely one of the best, most technical hurdlers at this time. But when you compare him to the hurdlers of past, yeah, man, it's a little bit of a stretch. But
And while we wait on the women's 4x100 meter relay, which I think is coming up at 12:30, let us just quickly look at the 4x4 women qualifications this morning. Your thoughts?
comfortable. We did what we had to do.
Who are we going to change out though? Because we practically use 3 new people. Cherokee Young was there, Ashley Williams was there, and Janet Knight joining Stephanie McPherson.
We can include Stacy into the team.
What about Nikisha? Will Nikisha Price come back?
I'm not sure. I've heard that she's still not well.
Okay.
But we definitely would have to see. You can also include a Cheyenne Solomon into the team as well, or even Rochelle Clean if she's up for it.
Rochelle Clean is a would have run on 4x4 teams before.
Yeah, so the team's chances of medaling is
very strong.
I won't say it's very strong. I will say that it's reasonable because you have other competitors who, are equally or even stronger than Jamaica at this time. We talk about Netherlands, who they would have beaten in their heat. The Netherlands, you expect the Netherlands to have Femke Ball in their team. You talk about Great Britain with Amber Annin, and you talk about Ireland. Ireland, they finished third in Jamaica's heat. However, they have Rashida Adeleke to come to their team to strengthen their team. So the competition will be very fierce. And United States of America, their team. It's going to be a one team race.
Let's hold that thought on the 4x4. The women's 4x1 team is coming up. Jamaica is in lane 4. Bent, your thoughts? Our chances.
Same team as yesterday.
Is the lineup the same?
Can we say that it's almost like a stretch because some of our best competitors is not a part of it?
True.
It is probably one of the weakest that we'd have had on the women's
that
team.
I've seen in a long time.
In a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
No Shelley Fraser Price, no Sherika Jackson, no Elaine Thompson, no.
Because
the top guns
because
present.
When you look at the 4x4 teams that we've set up since the Sydney Olympic in 2000, you're right, this is one of the weakest team that I have seen since the Sydney Olympics, because when you go back to Sydney Olympics and you look at Tanya Lawrence, Veronica Campbell, Merlene Otti, Beverly McDonald and that team. When you come to 2004 and you look at Aileen Bailey, Veronica Campbell, Sharon Simpson, Tanya Lawrence again. You come to 2008, Shelley and Fraser Price, Veronica Campbell Brown, Karen Stewart, Sharon. 2012, the same thing. And, this team is way below our standard.
So would you then can agree that it's a changing of the guard, because Shelley said that this would have been her last Olympics. And so forth. So the guard is changing as it relates to track and field for Jamaica, especially for women in sprinting.
But I just want to highlight something though. Yes, it's a change of the guard in terms of the personnel, but we also have to highlight the fact that, team setup matters. Great Britain in lane number 8 has Dina Asher Smith on their first leg.
Wow.
That is
normally she's on the back.
Normally she's on the third leg. That is
bend.
Normally she on the back stretch. Well, sometimes
third leg. She's predominantly on the third back stretch or third leg.
Okay.
But what it just shows you is that the British team they understand that there is an opportunity for them to beat the USA team, and they put one of their strongest runners on.
And that's what you do. That's what you do. You look at your opponents and see how you can match them. And I like what Great Britain is doing. I really
because
like.
I'm pretty sure that Dina Asher-Smith will be problematic for Melissa Jefferson on that first leg.
And look at Jamaica's start list at Alana Reid, the former ideal standout national junior record holder Kemba Nelson, who just flew in a couple of days ago, Sasha Lee Forbes and Tia Clayton. How does that match up to the other field, although yet not the strongest?
If I was setting up this team, I would go from Kemba to Tia to Alana to Sasha Lee.
And I agree to that setup as well.
That's how I would have set up that team.
Because, you know, this team is going to be we talk about Great Britain, we talk about the United States, but let's talk about the other nations that are here today. So, you know, you look at the French team. You know, the French team, you know, Guima Joseph, she's on their second leg. You know, you look at, you know, Lisa Mayer, Germany has looking Kemper on their third leg and Haas on the anchor as well. So I just feel like the setup of the four women, the setup of the team puts Jamaica at a disadvantage because the four women that we have, they're not bad. They're not bad.
I think Alana would be more aggressive on the third leg instead of Sasha Lee Forbes.
I believe that Tia Clayton also
would be
a better starter for me.
Not even the starter. I think she'd have been a better on the back stretch.
On the back,
I can see Tia causing a lot of problems. So likes of Twanisha Terry, and you know, and the other individuals on the back stretch. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but let's we made mention of Tia Clayton. A lot of times, person would have said that her sister would have overshadowed her. How impressed and proud are you to see the performances that Tia Clayton had put in for this year?
Very proud because you know she early on in the season she said that she came out and said that she put a lot of effort into her dieting, and you know she paid more attention to, you know, what time she sleeps and so forth, and she is just an example of the fruits that can be produced when you really take the professional track and field seriously. So I'm really happy for her, and I really hope that other young people will follow suit. I really do believe that I really hope that other young people will see what she has done this season and would want to follow suit as well. So I'm very impressed by her body of work this season, and even though she finished 7th in the final, I believe she should be immensely proud of her efforts.
Indeed.
Yes, and Alana Reid, her first full season as a pro in the camp with Shakara Richardson. It's a good camp to be in going forward for her.
Many will disagree. Many will disagree because of who, but they're on their marks now. People, you want to do this commentary, Ben?
That was actually a good first leg from Alana Reid. That's a very good first leg from Alana Reid.
And they're approaching the back stretch. Hands over to Kemba.
That was a very good first leg from Alana Reid.
I know they're handing over to Sasha Lee Forbes as they come around the bend.
Great Britain, United States of America going well as well, but Great Britain are in the lead.
And it hands over to Tia Clayton.
And Shakira Richardson. And United States of America, they win.
No surprise there.
So but look at that. But look at that race. Based on that race, though.
Third leg again, and I don't know how is it the experts not seeing it that Sasha Lee on the third leg is not impressive.
But based on that race, Great Britain was leading.
Based on the stagger.
There's no surprise there that America would have won that relay. No surprise.
But look at that. Germany finished third in 41.97 seconds, and I told you already. I said to you, it depends on the setup of the team.
The setup of the team. I don't know. We did it last season. Last season, Sasha Lee ran. No disrespect to her, but that's not where she's strongest. I would have put her. I think Tia would have been more aggressive on the back, and Alana would have been
because
more...
Alana gave us an excellent start.
And that is why I know that she would have been aggressive on that third leg with Gabby Thomas. Use Kemba to start. Start with Kemba. Give to Tia. Those are the three most aggressive legs. And then allow Sasha Lee to finish. I know.
But look at this. The time that USA ran 41.78 isn't even the fastest time this year.
So the first place, the gold medal was definitely upper grab, despite we not having our best team.
Indeed.
But as you mentioned of the setup of the team, how much should we blame as it relates to the coaching staff, as it relates to the setup of teams for relays? And do you think that the individual coaches of these athletes should have a say?
My thing is, and we are fans, we're not coaches, but we can sit here, because if they had given me that team to set up, I would have go from Kemba to Tia to Alana to Sasha Lee. You understand? We've seen Sasha Lee on the third leg at least 4 times. We saw her twice in the rounds last year, and we've seen her this year again, and we made the same mistake and put her. She is not the best curve runner. The curve is just not her place. And one of the things with relay running is that you must be able to identify the player's strength.
Indeed.
Identify their strength and put them there. America doesn't need to put Sha'Carri on the back because they have the depth.
Indeed.
TT Terry can hold the back, so you don't need her around there. Gabby Thomas is a 200-meter runner, and like Alison Felix, she is now cementing herself in the American 4x1 relay team.
But I just want to highlight the fact that the Americans were there for the kill today.
Yes.
Their time was 41.78.
Yeah. And
the Americans were there to be taken.
We might don't want to admit it, but America knows how to win relay, especially for their women. They have studied it. They know what they need to do. It's not always about having the fastest people, but you need to be able to place people where their strength lies.
But what I will say is that I disagree to some extent. Because this American performance was not a strong one, even though
whether
they
it was
won.
strong or not, they won the gold medal. Is a gold medal everybody coming for now? It's not necessarily a record.
No, but indeed, yes, it's a gold medal that everyone is coming for. But at the same time as well, if you look at this performance, I genuinely believe that the Americans benefited from. They benefited from an under-strengthened Jamaica team.
We're not even we're going to give them their credit because they've done it right 2022 when we sweep the podium in Eugene. They did it right last year when we won 2 of the 3 medals in the 100 meter, and they come back this year and they have done it right because they set up their team properly. What America do is look at their people. Remember, Gabby Thomas did not run in the 100 at their trials, but guess what? They look in their pool and they realize that Gabby is one of the best curve runner right now. When you put that baton in her hand, even if in the individual 200 she's left at the back, but when you give her that baton, I don't know where she find it from, but she is going to beat you on the curve.
I don't think Gabby Thomas is America's best curve runner, but that's okay.
Presently, who else would you put on the curve? Who would you put over the curve over Gabby right now? And Gabby is winning the curve. The relay for America.
You have. So, for example, right? So you have Miss Jenna Prandini.
Prandini didn't make the team.
Yeah, Prandini didn't make the team, so but she could have been added into the relay pool.
No, but what I'm trying to say, you look at your current people who are on your team. The people who are on your team, dig into your team. America is very good at that. America do it with their 4x4.
Tamari Davis could have also been on the third leg as well.
Gabby did it for them 2022. No, she didn't compete 2022. Prandini did it for them 2022. Last year, they put Gabby there, and she won it for them. Gabby actually run past Sasha Lee and Sherika, go give Sha'Carri the baton, who was on her way to the finish line. So if something worked for you, go with it. But if it does, we're not even talking about the U.S. now. Let us talk about Jamaica team. Don't talk about U.S. that won the gold medal.
Indeed.
Don't try to find the flaws in their thing because
No,
they
I
want the
wasn't.
gold medal.
I wasn't finding the flaws.
We
I was.
need to be getting
I was
it
just. Well, no,
right.
I was highlighting the fact that the USA team was there to be taken, and we just missed out on an opportunity.
Based on the setup.
Because
Based on
of
the
the
setup at top.
Setup
Yeah.
again. Set up. And we have people who are really expert. People like Aileen Bailey should have even in this mix. Tana Lawrence, those people who did it in style 2004 and were able to work with Mr. Mills. Because when you listen to Tana Lawrence and you listen to Aileen Bailey, they said during practice, the pass between Sharon and Aileen and thing there wasn't working, and they said to Mr. Mills, let us try it this way. And Mr. Mills said, all right, let me see you do it this way. And it worked, and they won the gold medal.
Precisely.
Yeah, so I don't know, we continue to do, I don't know.
I think it comes on to
It grieves me, man.
It comes down to ego. Yeah,
Ego.
I said because I am the coach, I know everything.
Yeah, I
all
know
things,
everything, and you're
but
still making the same
The
mistake.
athlete's perspective always counts, and I think that is very important, especially at championships.
Yes.
And you want to medal, you want to do great by your country. It's something that going forward, I hope
Yes.
the coaches look at that at major championships.
And the team that we have this year, we know that we couldn't beat the American team this year. But last year and the year before, Jamaica should have never lose the 4x1 in Eugene and in Budapest.
Not at
There's
all,
no
not at
way
all.
we should have lose that 4x1. And again, the setup. Because
setup
people
again.
say they want to run here, so you run them here where it is not necessarily the right fit. And then we get the silver medal and we say, well, at least we get a medal. We don't aim high. You know, this 5th place, it could have been avoided if then they just set up the team a little different, put people where their strength lies. Sasha Lee's strength is not on the curve in our relay. It is not. Alana Reid on that curve would have done a better job. So put Sasha Lee on the
and
anchor.
Alana showed that in the first leg because she did run a very strong first leg.
Man, I don't know. Make we move on past this and don't send up with blood pressure. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jamaican people and people around the world. The United States won. Great Britain was second. Germany third. The host country, France, was fourth, and Jamaica was fifth. Switzerland was disqualified.
But let us take a look at the men's
Let us
triple
look
jump.
at the men's.
The man with
4x1.
We want to look at the men's 4x1.
I don't even want to talk about the men's 4x1
No,
because we were
that's
in a
something.
heat and we were beaten by China. We were beaten by China. China won that heat.
That is unheard of, as persons would say in track and field. But
Again, set up. You have a weak team. Why would you put someone with Kishine's talent on the anchor leg? Put him around the back. If Oblique was there, it would have been from Akeem to Oblique to Brian Level. Them don't even put Brian Level in at the relay.
But I think some will say that it's partly due to the inexperience of Kishin in a relay setup. However, it goes
No,
back.
sir.
However, it goes back. It goes back to the fundamental issues that we have: relay practice.
Relay
Yeah.
practice, we do not, and just like how Daniel Thomas dad said, and Mega said and said them are gonna ban me, just like how she said we don't pay attention to field events, is the same thing with the relay. As a country, we do not pay attention to the relay. And I'm going to say this, and remember you heard it first on HP Chat Track. The World Relay next year is the qualifying for the World Championships in Japan. I'm going to say it again. The World Relay next year is the qualification for the World Championship in Japan. So we're going to see if the coaches and the powers that be did not know that the World Relay coming up next year is the qualifying for Japan. We don't take relay seriously, and it is showing in the results.
Indeed.
It is showing in the results.
Indeed.
So we move from the track to the leaps and bounds in the triple jump, as the triple jump finals takes place this evening, and we have the wonder kid Jaydon Hibbert, the former Kingston College standout, and the young man from Mexico here in Jamaica. Not Mexico, in Mexico, but Mexico Arnett Gardens here in Kingston, Jamaica.
Wow.
Leaps and bounds, Jaydon Hibbert. The stage is set for the crown of a new king or new prince in jumping. Maybe, what do you think?
It is doable. It is doable. Last season, he jumped at the World Championship. The time that the mark that he made in the rounds, and the time that was jumped for the gold medal, his jump was longer than the gold medal jump. So I think he has it in him. My thing is that at the trials, he jumped with the juniors. He has not been jumping a lot with the seniors. So I don't know what that will do for him. But I think he can get on the podium. And if he can find that right jump at the right time, I think he can get on the middle of the podium.
With his leap of 17.75 meters this season, only Fortune from Spain has jumped further than him with a jump of 18.18.
Well, not Fortune. You also have, Pichardo as well of Portugal.
From Portugal. So can we then say that Jaydon Hibbert, along with Pichardo and Fortune, may be the twist and tails that will provide us with a triple jump final?
So what I will say is that the rain is currently falling, and if we look back at the women's triple jump final, where Shanika Ricketts finished second, we saw how the rain on the runway would have affected the athlete's performance. For me, I believe that Jaydon Hibbert should go for a big jump on his first attempt, because it's not guaranteed that the conditions will improve. And we saw where a lot of top contenders in the women's triple jump they weren't able to challenge a 50 meters .02 jump by Thea Lafont. The Cuban, Povia, she was a favorite going into the triple jump final, and she just could not muster a jump that would have been a challenge to the podium. So weather conditions are going to be very critical here, and for me, Jaydon Hibbert has to target a big jump on his first attempt to put some pressure on the rest of the competition.
Can we say then, with his rapid rise to fame and stardom in an event that has been good for Jamaicans over the years, is there pressure on him to deliver?
I wouldn't say that there is. I would say that there is a local pressure.
More of expectation.
There is local pressure for him to deliver. However, I don't think there's international pressure. I think people are excited to see what he does at this level at the Olympics. But if you look at other prodigies, like for example your Farlani or your Ogazi of Nigeria in the 400 meters, these are these individuals, they did well to make finals. Farlani won a bronze medal in the long jump. Ogazi, he finished sixth. He finished seventh in the 400 meters. So, I don't believe that the world has pressure on Jaydon to deliver. However, I think there is local pressure, especially given how unexpected Jamaica's performances have been
at Olympic Games.
Yeah, at these Olympic Games.
And before we continue, guys, can we just look at the men's 4x100 meter relay? Of course, Jamaica is not in this relay.
Disappointedly.
Yeah, disappointed. Jamaica is not in the men's 4x1 or the 4x4 final. We will not see them. But just looking at the teams here,
Christian Coleman to start, then Ben Direct to King, to Fred Curlin, no Grant Holloway.
Who is on the third leg?
Third leg is Kyrie King.
Okay.
And I just want to highlight.
Anchor?
And Fred Curley.
And I just want to highlight that Kyrie King, there are definitely other persons in this USA team that is, flat speed wise in both the 100 and 200 are faster than him. However, Kyrie King is a very good runner off the curve. And he's a relay specialist. And
I like how you said that. A very good runner off the curve.
Very good runner off the curve.
Yes, and that is important in a relay.
And the US and he's definitely been rewarded for his efforts or his performances off the curve.
Can Canada retain their title? Can Japan spoil the party?
The grass and company.
I think I do believe that USA's greatest challenge lies in
Great Britain.
and Italy as well. I think Italy and Great Britain are definitely USA's biggest challenges.
Italy running from lane 2 might be. Well, I've seen America win from lane 1,
but
so
if you,
that says nothing.
But if you look at their setup, Christian Coleman to start, it will be Christian Coleman versus Jeremiah Azu, for Great Britain. You have Kenneth Benderek versus Louis Hinchfield of Great Britain. That's going to be a battle as well. So it's going to be a battle between Great Britain and the United States of America, and they're off. And Christian Coleman has given them an advantage.
Italy is leading, but reaction time wise.
Well, Christian Coleman has given them an advantage.
Yeah, US leading, France in second, Japan is leading.
So
Japan
the USA are actually
is
in
leading,
trouble.
guys.
The USA are actually in trouble.
Japan is leading.
And it's Canada who are the Olympic champions.
Who won?
Canada are the Olympic
Canada
champions.
retained their oh my God, DeGrasse again.
So Canada.
Andre DeGrasse again. Andre DeGrasse again. Andre DeGrasse again.
So ladies and gentlemen, let's give you a breakdown of the final. So Canada, they're the champions, Olympic champions
again.
In 37.50 seconds. South Africa are in second place with a new national record, 37.57. Great Britain in third place in 37.61.
South Africa.
Italy in fourth in 37.68. They are the defending Olympic champions. Japan 37.78 seconds. France 37.81. And the United States of America 37.89 seconds.
And
China, the winner of Jamaica's heat, they finished in 8th place in 38.06 seconds. Now, United States, their issue was on that second change with Kenny Benderek.
With Coleman and Benderek.
Yeah, that first handover with Coleman and Benderek, and definitely the Americans would be very disappointed.
Yep.
With no, how much would Noah Ly's absence from this team impact the team's performance? Would have impacted?
Oh no! So the United States could actually be disqualified.
Disqualified from 7th place. I think if all had gone to script and Noah was even there,
I don't think
they would still have the same problem, but I think he would run back and maybe get 5th or 4th.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Not to win.
Yeah, not to win. I don't think he will be able to get it from.
Yeah.
So, I guess
not everybody has that anchor like Asafa Powell back in 2007, who took Jamaica out of 5th or 6th position to 2nd place.
Yeah.
In Osaka, Japan.
Indeed.
Wow. Canada has retained their title, and that's how you do it. And they did not have, they weren't even talked about.
Not at all. But
you can never sleep on. Well, you can never sleep on Canada.
Yes.
You can never sleep on Canada, and
see, again, DeGrasse is going home with another gold medal.
And even on the prediction show, I did mention about South Africa. We did talk about South Africa and talk about the fact that the South African team is actually very, very talented, and they could spring a challenge. But very impressive from the Canadians. Very impressive from the South Africans. Very impressive from the Great Britain team.
Yes, indeed.
But let's talk more about the Let's talk more on the triple jump.
So we're done with the relays. Jamaica is, but yeah, continue. Go ahead with the triple.
So in the men's triple jump, as I said before, the weather conditions. The weather conditions will be the key factor in this event. How
much can we say that with Jaydon's season best of 17.75, how that would have impacted his chances going in the championship?
Well, season's best. Season's best don't matter when you go into a championship, in the sense that maybe it will give you confidence in that yes, you have jumped this before and you can jump it again. But when it comes down to championships, you just want to focus on what are you capable of, delivering on the day. And as stated before, this triple this triple jump is if it goes to expectations, it will be a very competitive event. It will be a very competitive event, competitive final. However, as I said before, the weather conditions will play a key role. So let's highlight the fact that in the women's shot put, the current leader in the women's shot put, the American.
Before you go any further, I just want to read a comment.
No problem.
Hello to everyone on the live watching us, hanging out. Ali by Nature is saying, I feel like they could have brought in Andrew Hudson for the relay.
I believe so too. I believe he could have run in the relay. Particularly at the third leg or the first leg, and it would have placed us in a better position than we actually were in going into the anchor leg to Kishin.
We're too stuck in top places at the trials in the 100 and the 400, and we need to start looking outside of the box now. We really, because we see other countries doing it and it is working. So we need to start doing that.
Yes. So I also want to highlight in the women's shot put. So the circle, ladies and gentlemen, the weather conditions, they are affecting the quality of the jumps. The leader at this point in time is USA's Jada Ross. She has thrown 19.28 meters. Gong of China, she's in second place in 19.09. Interestingly, with Gong has won eight medals at eight successive major games in the women's shot put.
That's consistency.
Yeah, so that it just shows you that Gong, how consistent, how good she is, and she's currently in the silver medal position. So this will be the 9th back-to-back competition that she will be medaling in. So the conditions really proving to be a disadvantage for the athletes.
Yeah, and then we can from the just one more thing to emphasize on the triple jump. Jaydon would have started the season with an 8-step approach, and he said that in an interview a couple of months or two before the Olympic Games that he has not started the 16-step. Does the approach, whether it's 8-step or the 16, aid is cause to secure an Olympic gold?
I do believe that the steps are very important, and normally what happens based on my little understanding of the event,
yes.
Normally what athletes would do is that they would start with a shorter approach early in the season so that they are able to refine their technique, so they can work more on the technicalities of the event, their technique in the event, so that when they go on to the longer strides then they would have been able to jump better. So that he's not the only triple jumper who would have utilized such technique, and I'm happy that he is refining his technique, early in the season, so that towards the end of the season, he's able to deliver on the promise that he has shown over the years.
And just quickly, we want to just move from the sand of the triple jump to the 400-meter hurdles finals. Or over 20-year-old Rashawn Clark, World Junior.
The 400-meter hurdles?
Finals for men.
Okay, coming up. Okay.
Yeah, also coming up. He's in lane 9, I think. What is his chances going up against the big men?
This one.
Can we beg one?
I actually believe that we can definitely sneak a medal in this event. When you look at last year in the men's 400-meter hurdles, everybody was expecting a very fast time.
Yeah.
Everybody was expecting a fast time to win the event. Fast time to win the event. We talk about weather conditions, and weather conditions playing a key role or a key factor
in an obstacle race like this.
In an obstacle race such as this. And I do believe that Rashawn Clark, if he goes out there and if he runs or executes a personal best or even near his best, I do believe he's in a contention for a medal, because what we have seen here at these championships is that athletes athletes are vulnerable.
Yeah.
We talk about Femke Ball. Femke Ball yesterday, everyone was saying that it's between her and Sydney McLaughlin. And, Anna Cockrell focused on just running her best race.
Yeah.
And she defeated Femke Ball. Jasmine Jones almost caught Femke Ball in that as well. It almost became an American sweep in the event. So I don't think we should sleep on Rashawn Clark for this event. Yes, you have Alison Dos Santos. Yes, you have Rai Benjamin and Carson
there's
Varholm.
also Kyron Masters.
Yes, he's a person that I was just coming to. He's just one of probably 3 or 2 with Adeja Judge being a Caribbean person from BVI who's here at the Olympics. He has been a consistent performer, especially
in this event.
Especially at the big stages.
True.
Jayden Hyde would have spoken about him because they would have had a rivalry from character levels all the way to World Juniors and so forth.
And he's a world champ, and he's a current World Championship silver medalist. However, Rashawn this year has actually ran faster than Matt Masters. Rashawn Clark this year has definitely shown that if he puts his race together, he can be a formidable contender. So I would not sleep on his chances of medaling in this event. However,
running from lane 9.
However, what I will have to mention, or what I will have to say is that it would depend on the shape and the performance of his other competitors, because truth be told, if his other competitors if they perform to what we know or to the standards that we expect of them, it's going to be very difficult for him to be on the podium.
And just to mention finally that the world record has not been, I would say no, unstoppable this season.
Yeah, he has not looked unstoppable this season.
Up and down season.
However, he is a champion. He's a champion. He is very difficult to beat. Rai Benjamin, he is right now looking as if he's the favorite for the event. But Rai Benjamin would have been the favorite in past editions or past
and let's hold that thought a little bit. The women's 400-meter final is coming up. This one is tough because we had very high.
She trains at MVP here in Jamaica.
Yeah, we have very high expectations for this one for Jamaica, but unfortunately, looking at the ladies in this event,
still think it could be one of the races of the championship.
I agree.
Indeed. So we're just going to give some context into this event. So ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 women who have run sub 49 this year in this event. Well, was 2 lady or 1 lady? Sorry, 1 lady who has run sub 49 this event, and that's not. The other one is not in the event, and the other one is didn't qualify for the final. So Natalia Kazmarek of Poland. However, she's not the favorite because you have Mary Lady Paulina of Dominican Republic, Caribbean interest, and we have Miss Salwa Eid Nasser, the 3rd fastest woman of all time in this event. So this is going to be very interesting. Given the weather conditions, I suspect that the times may not be as fast as we would have hoped. The last time, last World Championships, 400-meter World Championships, 2017, raining conditions. Everybody was expecting Alyssa Felix, Shauna Miller-Weeble to deliver in that race. What happened? Shauna Miller-Weeble, she tied up, mid-race. Alyssa Felix, Alyssa Felix, didn't deliver as well as we thought she would. And, another American athlete, I don't remember her name at this time.
That's I'll tell you what her name is. I think she is half Jamaican.
She stole the show in that World Championship final, and that was where we were first introduced to Salwa Eid Nasser as a 19-year. And 2017. What it showed me was that in a World Championship final where the weather conditions are not favorable to the athletes, any card can play. So so I'm definitely looking forward to this race. My eyes are on Salwa.
My eyes are on lane 6 and lane 8.
Salwa, Paulinho, and Kazmarek. Those are the 2 individuals who I believe will definitely mount the podium response. And we can't watch out. We can't keep our eyes off Cedar Williams as well as Rashida Adeleke of Ireland. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Just to finish up our conversation on the 400-meter hurdles as we await the start of the 400-meter finals for women. Does Rashawn Clark need to run a PB to win or to medal?
He definitely needs to run a PB to win. As relates to medal, he doesn't, it depends on the weather conditions. He doesn't need, I don't think he will need a PB necessarily to be on the podium. I just think that he needs to execute, the best as efficient race as possible, because, the weather conditions could pose a challenge for all of the athletes involved. But, it's going to be very difficult because Carson Varholm, he is one who is used to running in all conditions. So they're off in the women's 400.
And of course,
so Paulina already attacking already. Salwa is going well as well.
Yes, she's leading actually.
So it's part between Paulina and Salwa. Watch out for Kazmarek towards the end because Kazmarek is now
leading. Paulina is now in the lead. Nassau is second.
Kazmarek is normally somebody who is a fast finisher.
Adeleke is now in third position. Kazmarek fourth.
So a dominant performance here from Paulina. Paulina is ahead of everyone else.
The last 50 meters of the race.
And Paulina is the fourth fastest woman of all time in this event.
She is the Olympic champion.
48.17 seconds for Mary Lady Paulina. She is the Olympic record holder. Salwa Eid Nasser, 48.53 seconds for Salwa Eid Nasser. Natalia Kazmarek, 48.98 seconds. Rashida Adeleke, 49.28. Amber Anning, 49.29. Alexis Holmes, 49.75. Seda Williams, 49.81. And Jaeger, 49.93. Ladies and gentlemen, every single woman in this race, sub 50 in the 400 meters.
Wow. Wow. From first to eighth. Remarkable.
Indeed.
This is just ridiculous.
Race of the championship,
wow.
I tell you.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Of course, the Caribbean again.
Yes.
The Caribbean is owning this event for the last 5, 6, 7 championship. I think the last time America won the 400 for women was
when Sanya Richards Ross.
2012 with Sanya Richards.
But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to highlight the fact that 48.17, that makes her the fourth fastest woman in the history of the event. She's also the area record holder for this event, the fastest woman in the Americas, breaking Shauna Miller-Weber's record. It just really shows you my Lady Paulina, she is a very impressive athlete. She has definitely improved over the years, and she has definitely grown as an athlete, and she is naturally talented. She is raw talent in this event.
But I'm impressed with Salwa Nasser, who is just coming back from what, 2 years, a 2-year ban.
Indeed.
I'm really impressed with her coming back and how well she has done to run 48.53. It is amazing to get the silver medal.
Another thing that I want to highlight is that the overall growth of quarter milers for hurdlers coming from Dominican Republic for the past three or four championship, I've seen that steady climb from on both male and female side of things, that their quarter milers are getting better.
Yes.
Their 400 meter hurdles program has been developing. So just like Jamaica is known for its printing, we can almost make a claim that Dominican Republic is making a claim for quarter milers, great quarter milers, great 400 meter hurdles.
And listen to me, the quarter mile for both men and women right now, it is at a totally different level. It is at a level that I don't know what it will take, especially for the Jamaicans and the Americans who have been running first and second to each other to get back into this party. Because right now, for the women, I would say it is owned by Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, with Shawnee Miller coming back. Of course, Nassau is coming back also, and of course the Polish athletes. So it is impressive.
But I just want to highlight though that Dominican Republic, they actually have a rich history in the quarter mile because they are home to the 2004 and 2016 Olympic champion in the 400-meter hurdles. You know, Felix Sanchez. They're also home to the silver medalist of the London 24
It's actually
400-meter.
2004 and 2012.
It's 2012. Thank you for correction.
Yes,
So 2004 and 2012 Olympic champion Felix Sanchez,
and they Superman.
And they're also home to the 2012 Olympic silver medalist in Llewellyn Santos as well. So they do have a rich history in the women in the 400 meters on the men's side. But it's nice to see that's being translated on the women's side. You know, they would have also had Miss Co-Phillies as well. However, due to the new IAAF rules concerning the athletes, she would have not been able to take part at these Olympic Games. But Dominican Republic definitely continuing on the rich history that they have in the quarter mile, but 48.17. When you really think about it, think about who else could have been in this race. You think of Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone could have been in this race. You think of Femke Ball could have been in this race. Nikisha Price, if she was in full throttle, could have been in this race as well.
I would love to see the Diamond League circuit invite these women.
I think Moo of the United States of America,
a super 400-meter runner,
Brittany Wilson.
Pay them big money to come.
It's a possibility that this your wish may or can be the Diamond League final in this weekend. It's a possibility because there's a lot of more track and field left after the Olympic Games.
Indeed.
And just to break down the context of how difficult the 400-meter hurdles as a person who would have done it at the intercollegiate level, it is 10 flights of hurdle. So it's a combination of running a flat four and going over an object with the frame of mind to change your lead leg at each hurdle. So it takes a lot of concentration. When you look at the background training, doing the squats, doing the plyometrics, concerning the 400.
Oh, just before you go any further, they're now introducing the triple jump. I think this is a triple jump final.
Yeah, so they're introducing the men's triple jump final. And Hibbert, and Jaydon Hibbert, he'll be the 5th jumper in the men's triple jump. He'll be the 5th jumper in the men's triple jump final. But I just want to highlight something. Amber Anning, NCAA, part of that NCAA super team Arkansas, runs a national record 49.29 seconds, finishes in 5th place. It just shows you how seriously talented, seriously stacked, seriously loaded this women's 400-meter event was, and it just gives you an idea of the women's 4x400 meters because Amber Anning, she would have been in the mixed relay. So Amber Anning would have run the anchor leg of the mixed relay for Great Britain. Great Britain would have run a national record in the mixed relay. Amber Anning runs in the normal 400, individual 400, runs a national record. So it just shows you that running the mixed relay does not take away from your individual performance.
Exactly. And we've seen it over and over. We've seen it with Paulina. She did it at the they won it in Eugene. A matter of fact, it was the Dominican Republic that won the mixed relay at the Eugene World Championship. We've seen Fenke Ball done it and they won. So, but I'm glad you touched that point because we have a thing where we like to rest athletes. And I've seen other countries, once they come to championship, they work for their country until the championship is over. Your take on this resting of athletes?
You can look at it in a sense that, especially for persons who is running the quarter mile race, that they run 3 rounds they run 3 rounds, especially if they make it all the way to the finals. They run 3 rounds, run and run the final. If there's a case that the 4x4 relays is running the following day, they would need enough time to recover. So that is something that you have to take into consideration. Track and field overall is not easy, and running 3 rounds at a championship, running at full tilt, is definitely something that you want a chance to prevent the athletes from getting injured. Indeed,
and when it comes on to relays, the shoe sponsors, unfortunately, they don't, is not something that, it's not something that's highly lucrative. The relays are not highly lucrative events. So just to highlight that, Zango, the world champion, he is now in the lead with 17.43 meters. So he got that big jump out of the way. But as relates to the mixed relay, it also comes down to your preparation. If you as an athlete are prepared to run the mixed relay along with the 4 individual events, then that shouldn't be a major problem. No. However, if it is that you are not prepared for it, then I can understand why the coaches would not want their individuals to run the event. And so the preparation really starts from the coaches' end. And, I understand where the coaches are coming from, because if you are a coach, right, you want to prepare your athlete to do well in an event where there's going to be, where there is more compensation. So just to highlight that, Mr. Pichardo of Portugal, he has jumped 17.79 meters. So yes, they're getting the big jumps early in this event.
And also to highlight some of the miss-hits from the championship, especially from a Jamaican standpoint. Ansi Parchment not making the 110 meter hurdles finals.
No, he made the final, but he wasn't on the podium.
He was not on the podium. How are you really disappointed with that, per se, of the misses from Parchment?
I wouldn't say I'm disappointed because of the quality of the field as well as his age. We also have to take into credit that he's not a young, he's not a young spring chicken. Yes. So he definitely, I think he has definitely represented us well, and
he has.
And I think instead of bashing him or express disappointment that he didn't make the podium, I would definitely want to celebrate him.
Just to hold that thought, Mr. Hibbert is going to take his first jump now. Let's see where this will put him. He is going to be taking his... So leading is the Santos... No, it's Pichardo from Portugal.
Portugal with 17.79 meters. But what do you think would be Jaydon's mindset going into this first jump? So he's on the runway now. So let's see how he does.
I think deep down he wants to start this competition well with a big jump as well. I think that would have been the mindset.
Here is Mr. Hibbert. Let's go, Hibbert.
So it's over 17 meters. So Jaydon Hibbert, 17.31. I saw that he expressed frustration a while ago, but I hope he doesn't get too frustrated. I think he just needs to remain calm.
Need to relax and keep calm, yes.
Yeah, I just think he needs to relax and remain calm. So he's in third place with 17.31 meters. He is a good jumper. He is a prodigy. I just want him to just stay focused.
Just relax. And don't get too excited.
Yeah. And I'm happy that he has his coach there to speak to him and to calm him down. But yeah, 17.31, he is in third place.
Yeah. I mean, this is a big stage. This is his first time at the Olympic Games, and he's a baby. He's our baby at these games. So he's going to need
the babies, 2 19-year-olds.
Yeah. He's one of the babies.
So another miss at the Olympic Games would be Sheridan Fraser-Price not making to the finals. Sherika Jackson not competing at all. how would you think that those two miss hits would have affected the Jamaica camp?
They have, to me, they have in more ways than one. And I just want to make something clear. This is Sharika's second Olympic Games, but technically she is only a one-time Olympian. She did not take the track any at all. So this Olympic Games, Paris Olympic Games, will not be in her history books.
Yeah.
It will not be a part of her legacy because in order to be an Olympian, you must compete at the games.
Yeah.
So for Shelly-Ann, it will be Shelly-Ann's fifth Olympic game because she took the track in the rounds of the 100 meters. So I just want people to know that later on when you're looking at the history, if Sharika doesn't go to another Olympic Games, she is going to be a one-time Olympian because she did not take the track at the 2024 Olympic Games. So we just want to make that clear. But I think the absence of Sharika and Shelly, really, there's no doubt that it has put a damper on, on the camp, on the team, and all of that, and also too, I'm still asking the question, why is it that we did not take a reserve for the women's 200 meters? Why was there no reserve for the women's 200 meters?
We are joined by Mr. Parchment from Unseen Sports, and here he's live in the studio.
Nice to be here, HP. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
That question is a difficult one.
Indeed.
I think only the J3A can answer that, or the GOA. I think maybe cash, strap for cash.
No, I don't buy into that. There's no cash because we know that the Olympic Games is coming every 4 years. We know, so we need to put certain things in place for that. And we knew that Sharika was not 100%. So I am saying, even though, okay, let's say you cannot bring a reserve for every event, but you have an idea which event has injuries. So what you do, you have a reserve for that event. In the event that person is not able to compete, because what has happened is that someone has been robbed of starting their Olympic legacy.
Yeah.
Somebody could have had an opportunity to start their Olympic legacy and they have been robbed because we did not carry a reserve. And of course, Jamaica's legacy has also missed out on something because instead of having 3 in the 200 meters, we had 2.
Yeah.
But when I look at it, HP, you bring 3 100-meter sprinters, right? And to carry the fourth one, maybe, you have 3, and the 3 of them say that they are okay, and 2, and then the confusion with Sharika not telling them that she's not okay. I think that was the factor.
But it is
we can't really blame the J3A for that.
Here why I'm going to blame the J3A. We are in our living room and we know that Sharika wasn't at her best. We saw Sharika at the trials and we knew that Sharika wasn't at her best. Sharika jogged the 200-meter final. She went to the games and she pulled out of the 100 meters. And the first question I asked myself, if you cannot manage to run 100 meters, how are you going to run the 200 meters?
It's a longer distance.
Which is a longer race. So what I'm saying, if you saw where it look as if there might be a problem, carry a reserve. They brought a reserve for the women's 100 meters. Marcia, you might say, okay, it is for the relay, but Sasha Lee was added as a reserve for the 100 meters. And we had no real injuries there apart from Shelly. Started her season a little late and look a little whatever. But we still name a reserve for the 100 meters.
But HP, you have to put things in context. Nobody knew that Sharika would be, in this state. Obviously, some of the issues that she's feeling happen at the camp, right? You have to put in your athletes from early, Mr. Bent.
Yeah.
You have to send it in from early. You have to, you know,
Benches, yeah.
Yes,
these
so
persons
send
are.
it in
Yes,
early.
but they did not know that they'd have to put an extra 200-meter athlete.
Come on,
understand me? They
Auntie.
did
Come
not
on,
know
that
that.
don't
So
make no sense.
put it in
We as the
context. We
fans,
don't know.
we as the fans knew that we knew, because when we look at the team that was
I
listed,
never
the
knew.
first question I ask is, where is the reserve for the 200? And Sherika is not 100%.
Especially based on the fact that her race after the trial, she felt a cramp,
Yes.
and she had to pull up.
Nobody was surprised
so can I
when
ask you a
Sherika
question?
was pulled.
You know the time period between adding an athlete to the event?
Just like how you
The
had
J3?
Sasha Lee,
I
just
know.
like how
No,
you had
Sasha Lee was there already because they did that from the registration period.
Exactly.
Nobody know that Sherika would be injured before.
We all knew
That's what I'm
Sherika was
saying.
injured
You
from
don't
the
know
trials.
wh-
We saw it at the
No,
trials.
you trials?
Yes,
she
she
wasn't
was-
injured at the trials.
Sherika jogged the 200-meter
And run.
final.
Yeah, but she never injured at the trials.
She
HP.
wasn't 100%.
No, she got injured at the meet overseas.
No, what I'm trying to say, at the trials, the Sherika that we know was not herself. And the minute you realize that an athlete is off, ensure that you put a reserve on the team for that person in the event you need them. Just like what we did with Sasha Lee. The 100-meter was stronger than the 200 meters.
And even so, if they had somebody, that person would not have run. You know why?
They would
Because
have to.
She wouldn't run. You know why?
They
You know
would
why she wouldn't
run.
run? Because Sherika would not tell anybody that she's sick, and she would do the same thing, go out there on the field. And then when she feel the issue, she would have then say, hey, I can't run.
No.
And the time period between putting somebody in there would not work out.
No, but the person would have already been on the team as reserve. They would already been there. So just like how she pulled out of the 100 and they appoint Sasha Lee Forbes, is the same thing they would have done when she pulled out of the 200 to appoint that person.
Or would they appoint her when Sherika would not come out of the race?
Come out of what race?
Sherika wouldn't come out of the race. You saw it. Sherika went out there, do her warm up, and then she run. And then they said that, hey,
She didn't take the track.
of course, she went out there, do her warm up.
Yeah, but she didn't take the track.
But the time period between to move Sherika out of that race to put in another person,
When
that
did
would work.
when did she decide that she's not running? Was it the day before? Because I think
No,
you have
it
like
wasn't the day
24
before.
hours.
It wasn't the day before.
The
She was
same
on
day?
the same day. She was on the track.
She wasn't on the
She
track.
was on the track preparing for the race.
No, I'm talking the
The
live
200.
track. Yeah, she wasn't
She
on
was
the live track.
in the training. She was on the training area at Paris, doing her warm up with her coach.
So was
Getting ready
it-
to go into the race,
Yeah,
and then she
all
decided
practice.
not to go into the race.
So who do we hold up responsible for? this
Sherika.
now?
Not the J3. You have to put things in context.
And also, I
Context
also
matters.
Had separate apart from the J3, I also had her handler, her coach. Her coach should be the person who decide whether or not, based on her condition, if she's fit enough to run.
Because they kept
And if-
telling
and
us
if-
that
if
she's okay.
not, then hey, pull her from her.
So I am saying HP, even if you carry a substitute,
All right.
it will be the same issue.
All right, listen to this now. Normally, when you carry an athlete is supposed to prove their fitness by the time you are ready to submit the names for the event. You understand? If an athlete is injured, I remember 2008 when Sharon made the 100-meter team, and Sharon was injured 2008 going in, and the J3 had said Sharon had X time to prove her fitness, and Sharon proved her fitness, went on to win in that historic 1-2-2. So is it that nobody ensured that Sherika proved her fitness in time to submit that final list?
Good question. Somebody dropped the ball.
Somebody dropped the ball.
But I think the main responsibility goes down to the coach and the athlete
And
as
the
well.
athletes.
Because you're supposed to say, all right, hey, I'm not feeling well, give somebody else a chance. It is simple as that.
And I agree with
is
you
simple
on
as that.
Her camp will have to take some responsibility for that, because if you are not able to prove your fitness by a certain time, then you should be replaced. It doesn't matter who you are, you should be replaced.
Yes, you should replace it.
And as it is right now, Jaydon Hibbert, he is in 5th position. Is it fifth or third?
That
Let's
is
see.
a fifth position.
He is in fifth position, yes.
17.31 meters. The positive 0.3 wind speed. Looking for him to get himself into the number one position. Who is number one, HP?
Number one is the Santos. No, not the Santos, sorry. Pedro Picardo from Portugal with a leap of 17.79 meters.
Wow,
Is
big
in
jump.
the lead. Yes, a big jump. So now they are on round 2. So we need Jaydon Hibbert to finish in the top 8 after his third throw in order to get to the last round. As it is right now, he's in 5th position with 2 more jumps to go. 2 more jumps to go in the first round. So they're now in the second round, and about to jump is Cuba's Lazaro Martinez.
As we talk about Jaydon Hibbert, you know, I was listening to his interview, HP, and he was saying that, you know, he's happy that he's in the final. Is there something wrong with him in terms of his health, or it was just scare or something like that?
I don't think so. But when you look at how this championship is going, with every round that you get to, you have to be happy because of how competitive it is. Martinez from Cuba just fouled his second drum. So now Jaydon Hibbert is going to be taking the runway again. Yeah, I think maybe because of how competitive the championship is, you know, he is happy that he got out of the qualifications round and he is now in the final, because this championship is not easy. It's not easy at all. It's very, very competitive across every event. We've seen where champions, world leads are not getting into final. Look at Toby Amason, who is the world record holder for the 100-meter hurdles, and she won at the World Championship 2022 one.
She
did not make it to the final.
Daniel Williams.
Yeah, Daniel Williams.
Daniel Williams.
Yeah, Daniel. What you call it?
Daniel.
Daniel Williams, a.k.a. Daniel, is out of the final, and she won the World Championship just last year in Budapest. So these level of championships, they are not easy. They are not easy. So every round you... Okay, so Jaydon is now number 4. He just jumped 17.61 meters. So he is now moving up.
He's now moving up.
He is now moving up.
Remember that you have 3 jumps in the first round, and then you qualify for in the number 8, top 8, and then you go in, you get 3 more rounds, so that's 6 in all.
Yeah.
So hopefully in that, like RJ Stoner, Wayne Pinocchio can get a big one and put him in the medal position.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
He just need to get to the top 8, just get into the top 8, and those last 3 jumps, he can find the biggest of the 3.
So he just need a leap and bound.
Okay, so I'm just getting some information from my producer that Jaydon was medically cleared in just 2 days ago to compete. So your speculation was right that there is something happening with him, and he was medical clearance just 2 days ago. So we want to wish him, you know, a good championship and hope that he can finish
Is there something wrong with the conditions that, you know, affecting the athletes, especially the Jamaican athletes? You saw Price, you know, I heard that she have a chest problem, you know, maybe acid reflux, something like that.
Well, it seems as if COVID is going around, because Noah came out to say that prior to the 200-meter finals, he was tested positive with COVID, and Of course, it seems as if he's staying in a camp with his girlfriend, and she coming into our camp, and I don't know what it is, but
So it's
that's
spreading
what-
all over the place.
So it seems as if that is what is happening, but I still don't know. But he did say that he was tested positive with COVID, and my question is, why is it that if you're tested positive with COVID, why is it that you're being allowed to come
Participate.
back into competition space?
Right.
I don't get it. If COVID is so dangerous and we all had to be 6 feet apart a few years ago and we had to wear masks and we had to stay away and quarantine, why is it that in a competition like this where you have millions of people, hundreds of athletes, thousands of athletes, you have people who are COVID positive competing and of course hugging on other athletes and all of that. So
I think
I don't know. It's
the
not making any sense to me, but
level of the sickness or the virus, whatever it may be, is not that really an importance to the authority anymore. The thing that the body is immune to it now, and it's something that you can treat, or something that maybe that is the case, because COVID is not the COVID like when it just started to hit the world.
I don't know.
You know, everybody is, the vaccine is here, so they are okay with it.
But not all of us, not all of us are vaccinated, But I'm just saying there was so much emphasis on it when it just came out, and you separated people. People were segregated from them family, from them spouse, everybody. But now here we have a championship with hundreds of thousands of people in a same space, and somebody who is knowingly positive is allowed to be among those people. So I don't know. That is just my question. Why Noah Lyles, if he was actually tested positive, why is he in the competition space? Why is he not being quarantined?
I would ask our next question, why did Noah Lyles run out like that and jump up all over the place?
And that's another thing I didn't get. I mean, he came out like a lion. He was good and everything, and he was doing his usual thing. And then after
Got beaten, then what?
I don't know.
Seemed to blame it on COVID.
Or maybe he thought that even though he has COVID, maybe he thought that he could handle 200 meters at top speed, and then, because remember, COVID affects your respiratory system. So maybe the fact that he was running so hard, he was affected as a result of.
So while losing
the
so
virus.
much energy with that introduction.
Maybe he felt okay, because remember, when you have COVID, because it affects your respiratory system, you're not supposed to exert yourself too much. The minute you start exerting yourself, then of course your lungs is not going to be able to handle that. And I think that was what happened to him when after the race he was having a hard time breathing, because he was not supposed to be exerting himself. But I still go back to my original question. Why was Noah Lyles allowed to compete when he was knowingly tested positive for the COVID-19?
Good question.
that
I
is-
think the doctors and the person in charge of the Olympics would have to answer that question. We have to
The
get some
organizers too.
answers from them.
The organizers too, why would you allow that? Is it that the organizers did not know? The officials did not know? Was it the doctor's responsibility to report if someone is COVID positive? I don't know what their protocols are. I don't know. I really don't know.
You're asking some serious question, HB, and I just think that those questions should be answered by the authorities in Paris.
Because other athletes were being affected.
We think about what, let's say, Tobago said though, in the press conference about Noah Lyles being the face of track and field.
Let me tell you, I like that young man, Mr. Tobago. I think if sarcasm was a person, it would be him, because he has such a straight face when he's being sarcastic, because he's saying he will not be the face of track and field because he's not a clown.
You want to laugh,
I mean, it was, when I saw it, I was like, wow, this young man is he's a bright young man. He seems
Very
to
bright.
be a very bright.
I want to try to speak like him when he roll his tongue
Yes.
and say that,
He said, I'm not a clown. I'm not a clown.
no, he
like,
said
no.
something like the word was split up He
Yes.
said something.
Yes.
Yes, but it's hard to catch it, you know.
He was very sarcastic because he was saying Noah is the fastest man on the planet. And of course, Usain Bolt is his idol, and he knows that Usain Bolt is the fastest man both in the 100 and the 200 meters. So I think he was just jabbing at Noah Lyles.
Kenny Benderek was there beside and looking at Tobago like he's saying, "What are you saying?"
And as you talk about Kenny Benerick, he brought up a very good point that we have been asking that same question, because he's saying that he thinks that the officials are showing favoritism to Noah Lyles, who is his countryman, because he won his heat and he got lane 9. Kenny won his semifinal and he got lane 9, and he appealed, he protested, and they put him in lane 8. And he was saying Noah, who lost his semifinal, got lane 4 or 5, the lane that Noah got. And he was trying to figure out, and we have been asking these questions, how is it that people are winning their semifinal and they're finding themselves in the outer lanes instead of the preferred middle lanes? And I'm still on this lane thing. How do you select a lane? How do you assign lanes to athletes, especially in finals after you've gone through that first round? How is it? Is it based on how people feel, who they want to win? I don't know. I don't know.
And all of that now leave, fans and persons to speculate now, HP, and say maybe that's the reason why they gave Noah Lyles gold in the final. They want to, because he's doing the rounds of media actions, talking about, and people following him. So maybe that is one of the reasons why, to give him the goal. And when you listen to David Riley and the rules that the persons in charge at Paris should follow, you're asking yourself that maybe the medal should be shared. Then you look at Broad Bell, bronze or silver. I don't know. Something is wrong. Isn't that a silver for Broad Bell? Explain to me, HP.
Based on the graphic that they were showing, it seemed as if what's his name from the US? It seemed as if his torso was a little bit closer to the line than Broad Bell. But again, because they're not consistent.
How little?
Because remember,
a little toops.
No, remember, you're dealing with, it's computer you're dealing with. You're dealing with a laser and computer. And that computer it is going to pick up, it doesn't know who you are, it doesn't know who is Noah Lyles, who is Javon Unseen, who is HP. So what it is looking for is the first body, the first torso that hit that laser will go off. So whether you're a dog, whether you're a monkey, whatever you are, if you hit that beam first, then that's when the computer will go off. But I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if organizers of these competitions, if they do things based on how they feel, because in 2008, when they could not separate, they claimed they could not separate Sharon and Caron, so they were both given a silver medal. I think it was at the 2021 Olympic Games in Tokyo, they awarded the high jumpers, the both of them gold. It was, what's his name from Qatar? Oh my God.
Bashan?
Yes, Barshim and the young man from Italy, they were given a gold medal. So you find that some people work with the tie and some people will go all the way down in the computer to separate. Some people are saying it is supposed to be 1/100th of a second. I'm hearing 1,000th of a second. So you don't even know if the rules are being applied consistently, if people are being consistent with the rules, or it is based on how they feel. I really don't know. And I've always heard people say this. For a Jamaican to get the gold medal, they have to win it convincingly. Tie on the line with someone, the Jamaicans are not going to get it. I've heard that so many times, and I've seen it so many times with it. It happened with Herb McKinley back in 1952. It happened with Juliet Cuthbert and Gail Devers, 1992. It happened with Merlene Ottey and Gail Devers, 1996. Here now we are in 2024, Jamaica and the United States. Jamaica lost. Jamaica again and the United States. Jamaica lost. So I don't know if it's based on how people feel, but just looking at the triple jump, guys, Jaydon is about to take his third drum for them to decide on the top 8 for the final round. And as it is right now, he is in 4th position. So hopefully he should get into that top 8, but he cannot take it for granted, because after Jaydon you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 competitors after him. So he will have to ensure that he puts down a good mark so that he is in that top 8. He is coming up shortly, which is 3rd and final attempt for the first round.
HP, you talk about the medals and Jamaica with America and stuff like that. But I want to say that if it was me, I tend to believe that if you run the same time, say 9.88, and your opponent run 9.88, I think you should just share the medals there.
No, it's not that easy, because remember, you're using computer
now
where you can start separating people. But if you get to a certain level and you realize that you're not separating them, share the medal.
Share the medal, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
100 of a second, 1,000 of a second. I think that
this
is...
thousands of a second, they're going 3 decimal places.
As if you play it in real time. If you play it in real time, you cannot use your eyes to select who came in first.
No.
Right? So just work with the 9.88, 9.88.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So 9.79, 9.79 with them kissing and no lies.
Yeah.
You understand me? But with the
just hold that thought. Jaydon Hibbert is about to take the runway, or did he?
Maybe that's a little bit, maybe that is delayed.
Yeah, because this is saying that Hibbert should now be taking the runway for his 3rd attempt in the first round. And oh, that was a replay. Okay. Yes, continue with your thought.
So I was saying that, for the high jump, right? You can tie with the high jump because it depending on your fouls.
Yeah.
And it depends on your attempt. So remember, you get 3 attempts.
Yeah, that's easier to decide.
First, easier to decide. Easier, yeah. So you can't really use that for the other events where we use time.
Before, one moment, guys. Before we continue, okay, so Jaydon Hibbert just jumped 17.53 meters, and he is still in the number 4th position. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men jumping after him, 7 men jumping after him. So hopefully the 17.61 will be enough for Jaydon to get to the next round. And as I shared with you before, the news I got from my producer is that he was cleared just 2 days ago by the medical team to compete. So it seems as if he is not 100% either. Okay, as it is, they're going down. He's still in 4th.
Jaydon Hibbert.
Mr. Hibbert.
So
our expectations of him is so high. I mean, it is so high that we're putting him on the middle of the podium. So
what's our chance of getting another medal?
I think.
How many events are we in?
The events that we have left, well, this one that is going on, the triple jump, we have the women 4x4, the women advanced this morning to the 4x4, that will come tomorrow. We have the men's 400-meter hurdles coming up in a little bit. The final is coming up. I think that's it for us. The women's 4x4 tomorrow, the men's 4x4, and I think we also have the men's high jump. I think we have the men's high jump with Romaine Beckford. So guys, okay, after two of those men jump, Jaydon Hibbert is still in the 4th position. So he's looking good so far to go to the final rounds of 3. So let us just keep our fingers crossed that he will make it to that final round. And of course, making it to that final round, any game can play. And normally you just want one good jump that nobody can supersede.
That's a 10,000 meter.
Yeah. We are going to be wrapping up in a little bit. Let me see which event we have not looked at. Okay, it's the men's triple jump is, yes, on its way, and then the men's 400 meter final will be coming up after that. And okay, and we also have the women's sprint hurdles that will be coming up, and of course Akira Nugent will be. Oh, that's tomorrow. Sorry guys, yes, that's tomorrow. That's day 10. Sorry, my bad. Thank you very much, my producer, for that. Yes, that's tomorrow, day 10. So we have the men's 400 meter hurdles final coming up, and that will be it for today. Quickly before we go, your thoughts? Any medal there?
I think in the hurdles tomorrow we might get a.
Before we get to the hurdles tomorrow, let us just look at the men's 400 meter hurdles final coming up in a little bit. Yeah.
I think we're about 6th, 7th place.
Okay.
Rashawn Clark is also in a bad lane, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of curve in the lane 9 to run.
Mm-hmm.
Not Dos Santos. War Home. War Home is on a different level, HB.
Yeah. War Home.
He's like Sydney.
Yeah.
Right now at the moment. The American is there as well.
Roy Benjamin. Yeah.
But for me, I think War Home have it. I don't see Rashawn Clark in the middle position, but you know Jamaicans already. I'm not going to put him down like he cannot be there.
Yeah.
I think maybe if he run a race like
if any of the top 3,
maybe he can get
if any of the top 3 mess up, maybe he can get something.
So it's on mess up.
Yeah, because look at Femke yesterday. Femke, she messed up and Cockrell won the silver medal.
True.
So someone can have a bad race on a day, whether it's a final or the heat. So he's carrying the flag in this one, and we are hoping. We're chasing the century, and it looks a little. We were on 87, and so far we're on 6 medal, 87 and 6. That's 93. 93. We're on 93 medals. We were hoping to get to the 100 meter mark. We're
at 93 medals now?
Yeah, because before the start of Paris, we were on 87 track and field medals, and we won 6 so far. So 87 and 6 is 93. I don't see us getting 7. We don't have the events to give us 7 more medals. We were hoping to get something from the women's sprint relay. We did not get anything. I cannot remember the last time Jamaica did not medal in the women's sprint relay. I can't even remember how long ago, because it's been so long. I think it was maybe the 90s. The 90s was the last time Jamaica did not medal in this event. But all in all, but tomorrow we wrap things up tomorrow. And of course tomorrow, as I said before, I have a 50-inch television to give away tomorrow, and it is going to be in a quiz. So if you think you can win this television, come on down, answer a few questions, and you can walk away with a 50-inch television courtesy of Singer Jamaica Limited. And before we go on seeing any more thoughts on this final that will be coming up shortly, that we will be watching off air.
I'm just looking forward to see what Jamaica can do. For me, I think Roy Benjamin and War Home would be the favorite.
No
So-
love for the Santos.
The Santos, no, I don't. The Santos is wrong. In that final, I'm predicting that the Santos will come third.
Okay.
Yes, I think Roy Benjamin and War Home want that medal more. So that's my final, take on it.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap now, guys, but we will be back here tomorrow starting at 11:30 thereabout, and of course we'll have the quiz. We'll wrap up, we'll have the entire panel, and we'll be chatting and vibing and thingy. But before we wrap up, they're now going into the top 8, and of course Mr. Hibbert himself is in the last flight, and let's see. Yes, he is in the last
number one?
flight.
Who is number one?
Leading is Jordan Alejandro from Spain. He's leading with 17.86 meters. He's leading going into.
What is Jenny Bird's personal best?
Jaydon's first PB is 17.57?
PB?
17.87? 17.87. That's
So
his
if
personal
he's close to that, maybe he can win.
And he jumped that last season.
So if he's close to that, maybe he's in medal position.
Yes.
Maybe a goal.
He just need to get one
But
good jump.
Can he
and
get
we've
to that?
seen it.
Based on his conditions.
It
He's
might
close
be,
though. He's jumping 17.61.
Yeah, he's at 4th now, and any medal from him right now would be good enough. Okay. Okay, yes. Sorry, I was just trying to listen to my producer there. Yes, the television. We will be giving away the television tomorrow. So come on down and get involved in this quiz. I don't want to take this television with me back to where I'm going Monday morning. So guys, please, I want to give it away. The questions will not be hard. The questions will be about Jamaica's track and field legacy. And guess what? I'm not going to ask you any questions that have to do with any time. So you don't have to worry about the time anybody run or anything like that. It's just some simple question because I really want to give away this television. So thanks to my sponsors, the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, Singer Jamaica Limited, for that 50-inch television that we will be giving away tomorrow on the final day of broadcast. Thanks to Wet Sundays Continue. Thanks to HP Entertainment. Thank you to each and everyone. Thank you to Micah Sportswear for being on board. And also my wonderful staff on camera, Shamari on camera, awesome. And also Vicky, who is also behind the scene in the production. My producer who is keeping me informed, Sash, Tamika, and of course, my data bank, the doctor in the making, Akil Henry, and of course, Unseen Sports TV. Tomorrow, guys, I promise you that you will get to see all the people who helped to make this product. So you'll be seeing the cameraman tomorrow. You'll be seeing my camera people, the producer. Tomorrow, you will get a glimpse of them. So until tomorrow, guys, walk good, and we have an opportunity to get 2 more medals from the men's triple jump and the men's 400-meter hurdles. Thank you very much, and we will see you tomorrow. Remember to subscribe to HP Chat Track. Please, guys, go and subscribe to Unseen Sports TV and show some love. And thank you for staying with us from last week Friday until tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow.
HP Chat Track in association with The Jamaica Pegasus Hotel and sponsored by Singer Jamaica Limited presents Paris Ayad. Come hang out with HP as we chat about the Olympics track and field with athletes, fans, coaches, and friends of Jamaica track and field and independent style. The Pegasus Hotel in Jamaica is the place to be from August 2 to 11. Come chat with HP Chat Track as we go live with interviews and discussions.
Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. What if I said make we chat about
Let us cheer on Team Jamaica in Paris from Yad.
Check and feel at the topic.
Remember to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends, Yad and abroad.
We're running it all the way, we're in the lead.